start with you. There's this long-standing theory that goalkeepers are a little bit off. The cheese has fallen off the cracker a little bit. Why
or was
is
never
that?
on the cracker
or
to
maybe
start
it was
with.
never on. But why is that? You know, my theory is a little bit, maybe it's because it's so individualistic and you're not with the players all the time. But why do you have that different mentality? Why is there a goalkeepers union that's so strong? How does that all come about?
I think there's a couple components. I think one, when you make a mistake, you concede a goal. When you miss a shot, you just missed a shot. The focus on kind of where you are on the field, how you influence an outcome of a match can make you a little bit twitchy.
Right.
And then at times, you got to dive places you really don't want to put your face, and you have to be able to do it without even thinking about it. So you take a normal kid, because like I said, you start this as a kid, right? And you say, oh, by the way, these kids are going to kick a ball, and you have to somehow go put your face in the way.
Yeah. Right.
So you got to have a little bit wrong about you. Combine that with the stress, and I think most of us would say we didn't really realize what we were getting ourselves into until it was too late, and then
it's against everything natural. And it's against everything natural.
Right.
And it's something that you have to train on. He hasn't trained on it in a while, so he doesn't want to do it. But I mean, literally, you get to a point where it's almost natural that you're willing to sacrifice life and limb.
I want to ask, I've always had this thought, and I've always wondered this. I'll start with you, Kevin. So I said, I was doing some commentating in Copa America, and I said about Guzan that any goalkeeper would rather face one shot, or would rather face 15 shots, because then they're in the game, then have nothing to do and have to save one shot. But then I thought about it after the game, and I thought, well, I don't know, is that actually true? Like, that's my thought, but I'm curious, would you rather get just berated the whole game and be into the game and active, or spend 60 minutes doing nothing with your team pummeling and they get a counterattack and you have to make a huge save?
I think if you're at the top of your game and you need to come up with a late save, and you've organized correctly and you've communicated and really kind of kept yourself in the game, I think that would be preferred, right? Because there's just less opportunities to fail.
Well, you would think more often in a game where you're having 15 shots, you make 5-6 saves, and that's brilliant. They have another 5-6 that go off target, and then the other 3-4 go in the back of the net. Right. So more often you have the best games you have, you lose 2-0 or you lose 3-1, and you go in afterwards, and the manager goes, well, if he hadn't have made the saves, we'd be looking at a 6-7 embarrassment.
Yeah. I want to ask you, Kevin, and you did not do a lot of this in your career. Kasey, I don't think either. Joe, you did. And Tim Howard used to drive me crazy. Every time a shot on goal gets taken, he's running out 10 yards and screaming at his defenders. Why, first of all? I understand if you want to talk to your defenders. Is it just Tim gets caught in the moment, you get caught in the moment, and you're just like, it's a way of exerting energy? What is there function to it? Is there a reason behind it?
I think the one where I really lost it was when I've told him 6 times the same
to do
thing,
something,
and then the shot comes, and maybe it's not a goal, because it's kind of hard to beat down somebody when you just conceded a goal. But then you had to make a big save, and you told him 6 times to be in this position.
Right.
That's when I think I always went a little bit nuts.
Joe.
Yeah, like Kevin said, there's an evolution to it. I think when I was in, overseas and training, the goalie coach almost specifically says they want you. I mean, it's sometimes taught that they want you on their defenders, like to keep them engaged, to keep them involved, to let them know that it's not okay that the other team is taking a shot. As I got older, I think I mellowed out a lot more. I think the people skills required to be a goalkeeper, it's you learn that really quickly, especially at a pro level. When you're a rookie and you're trying to tell a guy like John Doyle, something else, he's going to come right back at you.
So,
Jeff
what are you talking about?
Jeff Agus, that was here earlier. I remember not so many times he would tell me to shut up and get in my cage. So you learn the people part of it really quickly, and I think it's a great testament to getting the best out of your defenders and knowing when to push and when to pull. I think in training, though, is where you really build the habits, and that's where more of my fiery personality comes out. Because on the game days, you don't want everyone feeling down upon themselves. It's time to just think about what's happening.
It's interesting. I never thought of the sort of man management part of it and how because the back four is such a part of you too, or the back three or whatever. So